Hey everybody, this is Gary of the OK Modeler channel, and welcome to episode 1 of the RMS Titanic build. Alright, here is the instruction for the Minicraft model kits. I have this one right here. This is 11318, the Centennial edition. But yeah, I'm not going to do any sort of box review or anything like that. You can see that anywhere on YouTube, so I'm just not going to waste my time on that. So I'm going to just quickly kind of peruse through this instructions. So it kind of gives you a guide of what all the sprue trees are here. Photo etched instructions if you have the other kit. This one, the 11320, and it starts with working on the hull. Actually, it starts with the stand, which I'm not going to do that. So it starts out with the hull, which I've already taken a look at, and there are some issues with it. Now, I want to make this clear. I've read about the Titanic. Many books like The Night to Remember, Dr. Robert Ballard's book, The Discovery of the Titanic. I'm aware of the story of Titanic. I wouldn't tell you all the details of people on the ship, but I'm not a rivet counter, so if you are, and I make some mistakes, please be kind, because I'm just building the ship because this is something I've always wanted to do. So if you have some sort of feedback or I did something wrong, you can go ahead and post it down in the comment section. And subscribe to this channel too, and just let me know. Again, I'm not a rivet counter. I'm going to do the best I can with this ship. Even, it's a very historically significant ship, but as for accuracy, I can only do what my skills can do. So with that being said, the most important thing is to just have fun with this particular model. All right, now I did get some extra parts. I did get photo etch parts from Tom's Modelworks. They're basically the only, as far as I understand, the only photo etch company in town that makes the 350 scale here. I got some benches here. Feels like there's only one set, so I might have to order more benches. Some deck chairs, not sure if I'll be using those. Davits, Titanic rails, detailing sets. So it's got some stuff for the cranes as well as the compass and the skylight for the first and second class staircase, and some windows right here. So got those here. I also have a couple 3D parts that I ordered, not from the China 3D, which I think they make great stuff. I just find their ordering process a little intimidating. But I did go to Model Monkey, and he has a 1/350 scale of the funnels here. This is funnel number 2. I also ordered a cargo hatch as well as the little cargo cranes here as well. So it doesn't look too bad. It's got the rivets here, the piping, and where all the smoke comes out of the funnel, which is great. So, and then also the paint. I know a lot of people have decided to go buy paint and use whatever paint they can get. Specifically, like the White Star Buff is kind of difficult to find or replicate, but going on based on trying to do the best I can here, I did order paint from this company called Scalecolors. I've never used it before, so it should be an adventure right there. Hopefully it's still good. I've had it for almost a year, but anyways, they supply enough paint for the 1/350 scale. So if you have like the Trumpeter 1/200, you're going to get more paint, but this is made just for the 350 scale here, so if you run out of paint, then whoops. So yeah, okay, anywho, here's the White Star line buff. I got the White Star line sheer stripe yellow, and then other colors here too, the chromate green, the anti-fouling red paint. So yeah, I'm gonna have to give these a good shake. Here's the white one, the black hole, and that's about it. So I'll put the links of the products that I got here, from Model Monkey, Scalecolors, as well as Tom's Modelworks. I'll put those all on the links down below here. All right, so let me go ahead and grab the hole. I'll be right back. One thing I forgot to mention is I got the decking, wood decking, from scaledex.com. So I'll go ahead and put that on the link below with the other stuff I got. I'm not going to show it here because it's still in its wrapper and hanging out, so it's a pretty big wooden deck here. All right, so here is the hole. Here's the bow all the way to the stern. It's one whole piece, which is nice to have, and obviously there's the hole plates right there, and the rivets. Now I want to let you guys know that I grew up reading about the Titanic, but I'm not going to know every single detail on this. I don't consider myself a rivet counter, so if you see any error, just put it down in the comment section and let me know. Most likely I'll probably ignore some of the errors here because I think it might be a little difficult to fix, but there are some things I can fix, but you know, I'll let you know as we go along here. But if you notice some things, then just put it down in the comment section and subscribe to this channel and just say, hey, you know, this is supposed to have this or this is supposed to have that, just to let you know. If I put it on there or not, you know, I'm not sure, so we'll see. Okay, so I know I've looked on a website, and this person who worked on the Titanic, this specific model here, the 1350, said that this, I believe this is E-deck, that these windows sit a little too low, which it should be centered with these portholes. So you have to kind of move it up. Now, if you have the skills to do this, you can go ahead and do it. Move those windows up higher so they're center, the portholes are centered with the windows. I don't have the skills or expertise to do that. I mean, I thought about chopping the piece off, moving it up, but then that kind of moves everything out of alignment. So, and why does that make a big deal? Well, you have white paint that goes across here. Theoretically, that white paint should be, I think, over here, so you have to go lower than you want to, but you know, we'll see what happens here. Another thing that I notice here is on the stern section, if you can see, there are some missing portholes right here. Sorry for the camera moving. So you see here's one porthole here, and that's the last one, and there should be, I think, 5 or 6 that go along right here and along the other side. So that I can try to fix. That's no problem at all. So this model is going to have a lot of challenges, but you know what? Let's just have some fun with this and do what we can do here. Anywho, let's go ahead and get started on this. I'm going to get situated here and work on this hole here. All right, so the next step I'm going to do is removing the excess plastic where the two halves of the hole were put together during the manufacturing process. So I'm going to need to scrape some of the extra off, which I started already, and then sand it smooth a little bit here, but not too much so it doesn't lose some of the detail on here. basically you just get a knife, hold at an angle, and just kind of slowly scrape a little bit of the excess plastic here until it's somewhat nice and smooth. And then you want to get a sanding stick to go ahead and smooth it out a little bit here. So don't want to ruin too many of this molded plates here, even though it might be not entirely accurate, but it's still one of those features you want to try to keep on there. Let's see here, like so. You can still feel a little bit of a ridge there, so I'm just going to go ahead and scrape a little more with the knife. And then you can see here it kind of, not sure if you can, but kind of, instead of round, it kind of tapers up a little bit here. So I'll just get a sanding stick and do my best to kind of sand that down a little bit. So, all right, I'll work on that. I'll be right back. All right, so what I'm going to do next here is to clear out these windows over here. During the molding process, some of the plastic seeped right through the window here. You can see, and I also noticed that the windows are kind of crooked too. So yeah, this is off to a great start so far. So I'm just going to get the X-Acto knife and just kind of clean up each window here a little bit without rounding it out. I'm sure this is a mold that's really tired right now, but this is what it should look like. No problems on this side. It just happens to be on the starboard side right here. So like I said, I'm just going to get an X-Acto knife, cut along the edges, and see if I can get that extra, what do they call that, flashing out of here. Yeah, this is going to be fun. How many windows do I have? One. Yeah. All right, I'm not going to count those. All right, you get the idea of what I'm doing here, right, guys? You know, we got some trust issues or something here. All right, I'll be right back. Okay, so I got the windows here all cleaned out here. And it took me a while, but I finally got it. I got some stragglers over here, so I'm going to need to kind of clean it up a little bit. But overall, I'm happy with how it turned out. So now the windows look a little bigger than they were before, and that is a good thing. All right, so the next step I'm going to need to work on is drilling the portholes here for the stern section or the poop deck. I'm not going to drill any of the portholes on the hole right here, only where the white goes above that. I'm not lighting this kit up, so I know I can hear your collective "aw," but I'm not going to deal with the electrical component. So, all right, so here is the part of the molding process. They added these portholes here, and they're not quite aligned perfectly, but I think I might just gonna leave it the way it is. As I mentioned before, they were missing a few portholes on the back right here, so let me show you that. So here we are. The kit didn't have any portholes here, so I just got a pencil and put the portholes on here. I think I might be off right here, so I think I might move this porthole just maybe a millimeter or two over to the left. Yeah, I might do that, and then hopefully that will work out. And I'm gonna try to aim for perfection on this, but I'm just gonna go ahead and get it as close as I can. So I'll be right back and get my drill. All right, so now it's time to go ahead and drill the portholes out on the poop deck here. And instead of using a hand drill like this right here, I went out and got myself a USB drill stick here. This one I got on eBay, or not eBay, but on Amazon. It's called the Wowstick drill right here. I'll put the link on the bottom in the description here. And I saw this on the Titanic Facebook page and someone recommended it, and I was like, oh, I can save myself tons of time not having to hand drill. So here I go. This is I think a 0.78 millimeter drill bit right here. So let's go ahead and see how this goes. And there we go. Makes quick work, just like that. Wish I had this for the New Jersey, but I want to be really careful. I don't want to break the bit because then I have to acquire a new one. Still need some practice. Still need lots of practice. All right, let's try this again. So you get the idea. All right, I'm going to go ahead and keep working on this, and I'll be right back. All right, folks, got the portholes drilled out on the poop deck here and made quick work of it. It's nice to have an electric drill, so that's going to be pretty handy with this build here. Here's what the back looks like with the portholes. The missing portholes, now we have portholes in the back, and I'm happy with how it turned out. All right, so now next thing, I'm gonna circle back here and talk about these sets of windows over here. As I discussed earlier, these windows sit a little too low, should be a little higher up. Now, there is a web page that says if you're an advanced modeler, which I am not, you would take this piece out and either make your own piece or try to move it up and try to, you know, fix it. And a lot of people have just kind of left it alone and just dealt with it. And I was going to do that, but then I thought about it, you know, maybe I could try something different, because I just didn't want the white paint to go further lower than it should be. So what I ended up trying is I wedged in a 1/2 millimeter thick styrene sheet in here. Now I'm shortening the second class window here, but it'll allow me to have the white line go a little, just maybe one rivet down over here, if you can see the rivet right here, instead of going two. And so I can bring the white all the way across, and very minimal white that goes in this section right here and into the poop deck. And by doing this, I think it might work. We'll see. If it doesn't, then I'm just going to have to live with this error forever, but it is what it is. I thought about enlarging the window up above, maybe 1/2 millimeter, but I might leave it like this. So sorry, second class passengers, your windows are going to be a little short here. All right, I'll show you what I did. Let me go ahead and cut a piece out, and I'll be right back. All right, so I got my little piece here, cut the size, this 1/2 millimeter styrene sheet, and then I'm going to go ahead and wedge it in here. Hopefully you guys can see it. Just going to wedge it in like so. I had to sand it to fit. And I test fitted it before I recorded this, and there we go. So I'll apply glue later, but I'm just gonna make sure that I'm happy with this. Sorry, my allergies are bothering me here. So here's how it would look. It's pretty flush here. Hopefully very minimal puttying will have to be done, but I'll have to sand in the back here because the deck, the aft deck, is going to sit on this ledge right here. But that's the idea. So what I'm going to do is going to continue on, and I'll show you the results once I finish with all these windows. All right, so I got the port side windows over here closed up a little bit. Hopefully this works out, but this line pretty much represents where the white paint will be at. So I'm thinking this might work. This is currently dry fitted right now, so I need to glue it, and then I'll need to sand off the excess styrene I have right there because it's going to interfere with the deck over here. Yeah, obviously I'm probably going to need to do some puttying, adding some putty on here, so we'll see how much. Hopefully not too much, but I'm just going to go ahead and dab some glue here, some cement, and then I'll just go ahead and let that seep in before I start trimming off any of the excess styrene. I'll probably need to sand a little bit on this ship here. I'm probably gonna add some glue back here as well. All right, so while that cures, I'm gonna go ahead and work on the starboard side here and do the same thing, and I'll be right back. All right, so I got all the pieces in here. The styrene's glued in, and I also primed it as well. As you can see, there's some gaps here. So I'm going to try to fill those with putty. But it's not flush, so I'm going to need to sand that first. And before I start sanding, I want to preserve some of the details here. So at least I can use the tape here, this blue tape, to cover up some of the raised edges here, as well as some of the rivets that you see over here. I want to preserve that. All right, just like that. And then I'm going to get my sanding stick, here, a 400. I'm just going to go ahead and just gently sand some of the high spots down. I think we might be good here. Let me take a closer look. All right, well, I've been sanding for a little bit, and the 400 grit wasn't working too well, so I brought out the trusty 180 grit right here. Plus, it's got a little small tip over here, so it helps me trying to get these add-ons a little more flush with the hole right here. So what I'm basically doing is just rubbing my fingernails along the hole and up to my modified windows. If I feel like my fingernails are hitting something, I know it's not flush. So I just get the 180 here and just start sanding down here, and hopefully I get the results that I'm looking for. Your patience will be required here, but your patience will be rewarded as well. So it won't be perfect, but at least try to get close to perfect, right? Of course, I'm also thinking that part of the reason why my fingernails are running into the new plastic pieces is because of the gap as well. So I gotta keep in mind on that. So let me go ahead and finish a little bit of the sanding here, and we'll get to the puttying. All right, time to do some of the puttying. My favorite part. Not really, but here we go. I covered up the windows because if anyone who's worked with putty before, it gets everywhere, and once it dries up, it's kind of hard to clean up. Maybe that's just my experience, but I don't like dealing with putty too much. So let's go ahead and get working on this. All right, so grab some putty here and just kind of force it into the hole. We don't want to go in that hole right there. And be generous with it, because this stuff will shrink over time, from my understanding. All right, let's go and get it on the other side. Put this here. All right, that takes care of that. We'll go ahead and let this dry for about 24 hours, and then we'll see what happens after that. All right, so putty dried. It's been a couple days now. So I'm gonna go ahead and use my 220 grit sanding stick and just start trying to get rid of some of the excess here. I know it's hard to see, but trust me, right? Just trying to get it nice and smooth. Not a lot of sanding to do since it's a small area, so let me go ahead and take this tape off and see what it looks like here. Probably a little more sanding. All right, well, you get the idea. So what I'm going to do is sand this as well as the other side, and then when I come back, I'll have it primed, and then we'll see if there's any, we'll see how it looks. So I'll be right back. All right, I got the sanding of the putty down. It's complete, and I primed it, and you can see it looks pretty good. Same on the other side. Got a small little blemish right here, but I'll try to use super glue to cover that up. But overall, I'm happy with how this turned out. I think when the time comes to paint the hole, I'm going to be much satisfied with this slight modification, even though it's still not accurate. So I think we're on a roll here, but I'm going to go ahead and end the episode. It doesn't look like I did a whole lot, but you know, got the holes drilled on the stern section here and modified the windows, and that was pretty much it. But anyways, there's still a lot to go. On the next episode, I'm going to go ahead and drill these portholes here, as well as on the bow section of the ship, and also put the bilge keel, as well as the this area for the propellers over here. So let me know what you guys think on the comment section. If you have any feedback or comments, just put them down below, and hit that like button. That would be great. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please subscribe. That would be wonderful. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Until then, I will see you all next time.